What is your biggest non-academic, non-work related accomplishment? My old band got played on a local radio station a few times. When I was a kid, I saw a guy passed out drunk on the side of the road. Neither of my parents noticed, so I said something. We went back and my dad went to check on him. It was around 20 degrees Fahrenheit out and he was wearing a thin jacket and pajama pants. My dad, who is a paramedic, told me I quite possibly saved his life that night. Edit, worded weirdly. Not that exciting, but I'm still pretty proud, winning a blue ribbon at a state fair for my strawberry jam. My husband loves to brag about it, and it makes me feel pretty special when he does. I won the first Swedish nationals in indoor wingsuit flying. It's also so far the only nationals since the only tunnel is in Sweden, which makes it even sweeter. To be fair, there wasn't a lot of competition, only one other team that were close to us, but I guess being part of the sport early on is part of the accomplishment. I moved to a foreign country where I knew only one person and didn't speak the language and managed to independently make it, and now I call it home. An artist at a major animation studio saw my fan art and shared it on their Tumblr. They commented on how funny they thought it was. That was years ago, but it felt great. I was sexually abused by a priest dozens of times during a 7-year stretch of my childhood. I blocked all the memories, drank away the memories, but when I was around 23, I had a conversation with someone which caused them to resurface. I spoke to a lawyer to see if there was anything I could do. The criminal statute of limitations, 2 years from the time the abuse ended or 2 years from the victim's 18th birthday, was long gone. So I ended up filing a civil lawsuit. He was removed from the priesthood and we settled out of court. As it turns out, he did the same thing to more than 75 other little boys during an 18-year span. But because I spoke up and did something, the statute of limitations for sexual crimes against minors in the state of Illinois was eventually removed. I don't know if that counts or not, but I'm pretty grateful that what I went through wasn't completely for nothing. My stroke recovery. I can walk, use my left hand, and I can cook again. Things aren't perfect, but considering that I couldn't pick my head off of the pillow the day after last Christmas, I am doing fantastic. I stood up for myself with my family and set boundaries. Then I actually kept them. I had a very abusive and traumatic childhood. Standing up for myself when I was a child always resulted in pain of some kind. This was a huge step for me. Taught myself to crochet. I'm not terrible at it. Lost over 100 pounds to do an Ironman triathlon and also compete and place in a bodybuilding competition. Growing veggies and herbs without killing them, and making pickles/jam/infused butter with the results. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Edit. Thanks for the awesome feedback and good luck to you all in your own efforts. Smile. One time when I was a kid, I was chasing my sister around the house with a wiffle ball bat, you know, like how kids do. She took off up the stairs to the second floor and tried to lock herself in the bathroom at the top of the stairs. As she was slamming the door shut, I threw the wiffle ball bat like a javelin and it blocked the door from closing. This happened 30 years ago and it was literally the most athletic I have ever felt in my life until I ran a mile non-stop as a 44-year-old guy. I ate a triple burrito in one sitting 10 years ago, for which I won a t-shirt. I still wear the shirt from time to time. I volunteer for an animal rescue. Last year, I vaccinated just under 600 cats and kittens. My only qualification is that I also shot a lot of drugs into myself in the 1970s. I came across an overturned vehicle and some kids screaming driving from Oklahoma to California. Dead of night, winter, middle of nowhere. People weren't stopping but I did. My ex-wife didn't want to stop but I snapped at her. Turns out a girl had been thrown from a vehicle. Her legs were bent the wrong direction. Applied a makeshift tourniquet and got some blankets from my U-Haul. The truck driver stopped and helped me. He called for paramedics and I helped them carry her over the snow/ice. I recently squatted 495 pounds. Felt like my soul was leaving my body. Relearned how to walk after my brain injury. I walked and hitchhiked across the United States to escape the abusive community I grew up in, and rebuilt my life across a continent, against all odds, when by all respects I should have been dead by now, whether killed at the hands of someone in that old community, or by starvation or exposure. Now I'm in a position where I have a good job, am relatively stable, began writing again and I'm going to start making games again. Maybe even paint again, if I can get therapy to undo the damage that was done that took away my ability to. So there's that. I saved over 100 cats in my lifetime and I feel happy thinking about it. This one time I went to bed at a reasonable hour. Thanks for listening. Subscribe for more daily videos.